What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Triple Double Threat Podcast. Me and Rob back again.
Yep.
Bernard on a slight vacation.
Missing that dude already.
Right. Mad lonely, but we about to get it done. Couple talks we gotta get into. Survivor Series last night.
Wow.
Just wow. WWE. Missed extra points in the NFL. What is the reason for them? Packers lose again to a mediocre team. Are they done? And much, much more. But first, of course, we got to get into a little wrestling. Yes, we're grown men talking about wrestling. We don't say nothing when y'all watch Love and Hip Hop.
Thank you.
Get off our backs. Or Jersey Shore, whatever the crap y'all watch on television is. So we grown men that watch wrestling.
Yep.
Survivor Series. I know Rob feels as strongly as I do. So I'll let him start this topic. But what'd you think of that travesty last night?
So I guess the main thing we're talking about here is the main event, the ending between Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg.
I thought it was overall bad, but
The 5-on-5 men versus men, that match was good. But here's the thing: before a little disclaimer right here, I understand this is a sports podcast, and this is fake or whatever, but we cover the NBA, so we already cover a fake sport. No, there's a real sport with real athletics that actually that pull off athletic maneuvers. It just happens to be scripted, which makes the ending much worse.
Exactly.
This is something you plan to do and you plan to show us, and that's what you come up with. Brock Lesnar destroyed the entire WWE roster while he was there, making other people look weak. Took away the Undertaker's 20-0 undefeated streak at the time.
Yes.
Destroyed your face in John Cena with 26 suplexes where John Cena couldn't even put off a move. Then you have this 50-year-old man, 49, I'm sorry, Bill Goldberg, come in and Brock Lesnar can't even put up one offensive maneuver? And you call that acceptable? Not only does it discredit the entire Raw roster, I don't care if he was hurt. If he was hurt, do it the other way. Have Brock Lesnar destroy him. I don't care if he's having another match. You don't do that to your Raw roster, or SmackDown roster. You don't do that to the fans that paid money to see this. We all subscribe to the WWE Network. And it was just bad.
I could have got more bang for my buck on a meal at Subway.
Yeah, and we have on several occasions. It was bad.
That was an awful pay-per-view, first of all. So I guess that means there was two disappointing fights this weekend, Andre Ward. But the thing is, WWE has lost touch with their fan base so long ago. Like, from SummerSlam ending the way it did with Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar.
Bad.
The storylines, like, it's all just dry. And it's too scripted. And I think the reason it's becoming too scripted is because they're starting to get recognition on, like, major sports platforms. Like, you see them on SportsCenter and Bleacher Report.
Us.
We cover them. So they feel the need to make it, I guess, more of an entertainment factor. But it was, like, Brock Lesnar is probably the greatest combat fighter ever. Definitely the most versatile in terms of how many divisions he's fought and how many styles of fighting he's mastered and become dominant in. It's just not realistic. Like, it's not realistic. Like, I said to my little brother before the fight even started, I said, yo, if Goldberg wins this fight at all, it's fake. Because it's fake. It's too fake for Goldberg to beat Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
When Brock Lesnar beat when Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar 12 years ago, first of all, Brock Lesnar was what, 35?
Nah, Brock Lesnar's young.
Goldberg was like 35 and Brock Lesnar was like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, he was young.
So it seemed more feasible, like, okay, he just has more experience. But now it's like Goldberg hasn't wrestled for 12 years and Brock Lesnar since then has gone in the NFL, won like 2 world titles in WWE.
He's in like 2 games, preseason games in the NFL.
Preseason games. And then he's become a UFC world champion and he's probably the most dominant fighter out right now. And then you let Goldberg beat him. Not only do you let him beat him, you let him beat him in convincing fashion. Like, I don't care about, his son comes in the ring afterwards. No, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see feel-good stories. If I wanted, I could watch soap operas for free if that was the case.
But even if the son thing was a factor, you could have had Goldberg lose and then his son come out to console him. There's been times where the loser stays afterwards just to get like one last hurrah from the crowd. I don't understand. I didn't understand where they went with this. I don't think they're really losing their fan base. They might. There's like little. There's a
They're not
segment that
losing
likes
their
wrestling.
fan base.
and
They're
never
losing
gonna
touch with their
leave.
fan base for sure, though. Because
Yeah,
it's
for
not
sure.
what people want to see.
No.
If they knew what, all right, here's what they would do if they really had touch with their fan base. Roman Reigns would have turned heel, and then the Shield would have got back together last night like they were supposed to in that 5-on-5 match.
Different brands. Though. I don't know if you could do that.
John Cena would probably be champion.
And that's another thing. You haters out there, John Cena haters. Bill Goldberg yesterday said he wanted to come out for a title shot. If anybody should be away from the title, it's Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
John Cena deserves a 16th title ring.
We want fighting champions,
Mhm.
not people that's going to fight every 3 pay-per-views.
Like the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You give him the title, he's not even there.
And then another thing they botched was the championship match with him and Seth Rollins when Undertaker returns in the summertime. When everybody knows he don't come back to WrestleMania. We don't want to see him in the summertime. But, I mean, I was just disappointed with that pay-per-view. And I want my money back, WWE. Look, no, WWE, look at me. I want my money back.
Yeah. I mean, the WWE Network is one of the best values out there in all sports.
It's a steal of a deal.
But, I mean, you can't take advantage of that. The fact that you guys are giving us such great content with NXT. NXT TakeOver was amazing. But then you screw us out of that fight. I know Vince is a genius. I know people don't believe so, but he is. And I know he has a plan, but I just don't see that. Not with this one.
Yeah, not with this one. But moving on. Yesterday was Sunday,
Yeah.
a.k.a. football.
Football.
Surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly now, the Packers lose big again. They lose big again to the Redskins, scored 24-42. Packers are now 4-6 in the NFC. Are the Packers done, Rob?
All right. They're 2.5 games behind the Redskins, who've already beaten them.
Mm-hmm.
They have beaten the Giants, but then they're 3 games behind them in that final wild card spot. And then they've already lost to Minnesota, and they've beaten the Lions, but they're 2 games back from the division lead.
Yeah.
I don't like crossing teams out this early, but it's not looking good. And
It's
now they
not.
play the Philadelphia Eagles, who are better than their record. They're 5-5. They're better than their record. They should beat the Philadelphia Eagles, but then I thought
They
they
should have
should've
beat the
beaten
Redskins.
Exactly.
And they should have beat the Titans too.
Yeah. Oh, they got
They're
destroyed 2
not
times.
they're not losing by like 2 field goals or anything like that. They're losing
They're getting
handily.
blown out.
They did like I think their last 2 losses was like what 24,
It was a
and
lot.
then like they lost. I know they lost by a lot to
It
the
was a blow
Titans,
to the Titans, yeah.
and then they lost by a lot to the Redskins, and those are not even like elite teams.
Now I don't see the Eagles blowing them out because they don't have receivers that can catch the ball. It's bad for Carson Wentz, but if they get out ahead early enough, they could put their foot on the Packers.
Yeah, because the Packers defense is horrible.
Yeah, it's really horrible, and Aaron Rodgers does it. I know injuries are there, but I don't like using injuries as an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse because no one gave Cameron Newton a pass last year when he was injured,
Exactly. So
or this year when he's been injured.
or when Kelvin Benjamin was out. You don't. I don't use injuries as an excuse.
There's no excuses. Either you win or you lose.
Exactly.
There's no excuse. I mean, I think Packers. I feel like 4-6 is not a death sentence.
It's not.
It's like it's feasible to come back. You win 2 in a row, and all of a sudden you're 500 again, and then you don't ever know who's going to lose between those 2 weeks.
You want to look at this? The Giants play the Browns next. That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
The Redskins play the Cowboys. That's a losable loss. Now you're only virtually 2 games behind the Redskins.
Yeah, but you got other teams creeping.
Well, like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, whoever wins that game. All right.
I mean,
How about
them? The Saints and the Panthers all at 4-6.
so? All right. Can we say this? Whoever loses between the Eagles and Packers is out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
If they go to 4-7, they're done.
Yeah. And if the Eagles fall 5-6 in that division, I see the Giants going 8-3. Let's say even if the Redskins lose, you lost to the Redskins.
Yeah, that's surprising me. At the NFC is like the best division. NFC East is the best division in football right now.
NFC least to NFC beast.
Yeah, least the beast.
So it's tough. I think 2 wild cards come out of that division, so that means you have to win the division in the NFC North.
I could see that happening. I think they he has to get the ball to his primary receivers. Like Randall Cobb
He has
and
weapons.
Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson are not touching the ball nearly enough.
No.
And it's starting to weaken their run game. So because they know what's going to happen when you use your run game and get your receivers open. And Aaron Rodgers, it's like he has weapons to work with.
Isn't he the best quarterback in football? I mean, I don't know if you agree with it, but isn't he the best quarterback in football, quote unquote?
Quote unquote, some people think so.
Now, turn this around. Was it the receivers that made him or him that made the receivers? You see what I mean? So as a
Yeah.
Q, I've seen Tom
Great.
Brady, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning make receivers. I understand Peyton Manning had a whole bunch of weapons, but there was times that Peyton Manning
Yeah, I mean,
made receivers better.
Tom Brady's made a lot of receivers. He made Deion Branch like a superstar.
Yeah, you see what happened when he went to Seattle. Jabbar Gaffney was his best receiver at 1 year. Do you know who that is? It's Julian Edelman. And then there was one time where
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, yeah. You see, with Peyton, it wasn't the same. And Eli was throwing the guys, Ramses, Barden, and Mario Manningham. These quarterbacks, that's what I do. That's what I do with the quarterback factor. Can they make the people around them better? And Aaron Rodgers just isn't doing that. He can buy time, which is awesome. He has a cannon of an arm. But if you're not out there leading receivers or putting it in the spot where, like, in the vicinity of your receivers, then you're not doing your job. And that's Aaron Rodgers really isn't doing his job right now. I don't want to blame it on him, but it's a whole lot of moving parts.
Listen, he's got to get it together. It's crunch time. I don't think anyone would have predicted they'd be 4-6 in their first 10 games, but
No.
I mean, here we are in January, and it's not looking. The sun's not shining bright.
Not in Green Bay.
Not in Green Bay, but staying in football. The Raiders. The black hole is back. Just win, baby. Raiders 8-2 on the season. They beat the Texans yesterday. Controversial call, but we won't get into that. They got another phantom. Well, not phantom call. Yeah, another phantom call. But we won't get into that. Gotta give Derek Carr his credit. He's playing like MVP. I don't think he'll win it, but he is playing like an MVP. Raiders are 8-2, number 1 in the AFC West. Are the Raiders the best team in the AFC right now?
I mean, who's the number 1 seed in the AFC right now? It's the Oakland Raiders. But
Yeah.
no, they're not the best team in the AFC. The Patriots are. The Patriots had a little bit of a tougher schedule now. The Raiders beat the Broncos, but they lost to the Chiefs. There's a scenario where the Raiders can easily fall out number 4 first seed and become the 6th wild card. It's easily a scenario where that happens. So I'm not ready to coronate them as the best team.
Yeah.
They have to play the Broncos again at Denver. They have to play the Chiefs again.
That's next Sunday, right? No.
No, the Chiefs play the Broncos.
Next
That
Sunday.
helps them.
Yeah.
If they can gain a lead on that, I forget who Oakland plays. I don't think it's that tough of an
Yeah.
opponent. It might be Miami. I'm
They
not
took
sure.
our primetime game. I'm not really upset about it.
Y'all didn't deserve to be in prime time. I'm sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it's the Oakland Raiders look good. They have a great running back in Latavius Murray, a great number 1 wide receiver in Amari Cooper, and Derek Carr. When you hit that offensive line, we always talk about the Cowboys' offensive line, which is the best in football. Second best has to be the Oakland Raiders. They are not
think
letting
so.
the defensive line get to Derek Carr. Derek Carr is
He don't get
comfortable.
touched.
He doesn't. He's comfortable. Now, if you could get to Derek Carr, you can make him shaky, but they're not.
He's as
And-
comfortable in the pocket as a non-mobile receiver I've ever seen.
Exactly. It's
Other
crazy.
than Tom Brady. And he's not mobile. He's just comfortable in there. He sits there.
He's not getting
I
hit.
think the Raiders are going to be the best. And if you want to talk about from a talent standpoint, then yes, because they have better receivers than the Patriots.
Yeah.
They have better running backs than the Patriots.
I think they have one better running back, but as a unit, I wouldn't
one?
put it better. Latavius Murray.
Yeah,
Latavius Murray by far is the most talented running back if on both teams.
I think their defense is a lot better than the Patriots. They have a defensive stud in Khalil Mack, so I think if you're talking about from a talent standpoint, and based on their record that they're number 1 in the AFC, I would say they're the best team in the AFC.
But
now, how long can
Bill
they keep?
Belichick.
Yeah, that's the factor too, and it's not even Belichick. It's just like the Patriots are going to beat it, and it's like all roads are going to go through them if you want to get to the Super Bowl.
It might not. It could go through Oakland, but
No, I'm saying if they might have to see.
they will see them.
Tom Brady has gone to how many straight AFC Championship games?
It's double digits.
Yeah, it's double. So he's going. If you want to get to the Super Bowl, the road is going to go through Tom Brady anyway. It might not necessarily go through Foxborough, But you're gonna have to see the Patriots, and they're not too shabby a road team themselves.
They're not at all. They're
So
great team.
I mean, I still think the Raiders, talent wise, they're the best team in the AFC. Now it's only week 10. We still got 6 weeks to go, 7 weeks to go.
Yeah, seven.
We got 7 weeks to go in the NFL. So we'll see what happens in those. Maybe 6 or 7. It don't matter. We're gonna see,
6 weeks.
we're gonna see what they do in the next few weeks. Because like I said, they lose. Everybody. It don't seem like that long ago when the Broncos was 5-0, and now they fighting for their playoff lives. So
Yeah.
I mean, not the Broncos, the
Vikings.
The Vikings. Yeah.
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 It's bad.
It's bad, but
here's a pick for you guys. I got the Lions beating Minnesota Thursday.
yeah. But I don't know. I think talent wise they're the best. I think they're definitely gonna make some noise in the playoffs because there's no real glaring weakness with that team.
Inexperience is a glaring weakness. I can see them easily winning the number 1 overall seed. Then the Chiefs or Broncos coming into town, and then they lose their first round matchup.
It's happened before, like what the Cardinals did to the Patriots in 2000. It's just a forgettable year for us. 2008, no, 2009.
Don't remind yourself of that. It'll just hurt more.
It would when my man Jake Delhomme under center. You gotta go to the association though.
Bang bang.
Clippers off to their best start in franchise history at 13-2. After they beat the Raptors last night, Coach Dwayne Casey said that they were the best team in the NBA.
Love it.
Do you agree with this?
No, but I do think I do love the enthusiasm. I do love the confidence because that's what you need. The Clippers there was no question they were making the playoffs. We thought they were top 3 team in the West. Well, I did. You didn't. But
here's the thing. I'm not impressed with the Clippers just winning in the regular season anymore, because they've been talented for how long, and they just they've continued to get better. Like they went and got Chris Paul, and they already had DeAndre Jordan. Then you go add Jamal Crawford. You get a guy like JJ Redick who can shoot. So it's like, why are you not in the conference finals every year?
The conference finals virgin, right? Listen. Then let's just cancel the regular season then. Let's just cancel it.
I completely agree. I think it's a waste of time.
The same teams always make it. It's just a fact.
It's boring, the regular season. Like I'm tired of seeing Golden State beat teams by 30. But I'm saying this is the boring part of the regular season because there's been no marquee matchups yet. The only if you want to consider Golden State and OKC as a marquee matchup, then okay. If you want to consider that, but
there are marquee matchups.
They lost by 30. I think the one marquee matchup there was probably Toronto and Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And that they played themselves because they're in the same division, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason they played each other.
I mean, my general rule for the NBA is watch opening night, then wait till Christmas.
Yeah.
Then once Christmas comes, you watch the Christmas Day games. It's probably one of the best days in all sports. And then afterwards, you can loosely follow your team, watch it. This is a sport like baseball where you don't have to watch every single game.
Yeah, you don't.
You just don't.
It's not like football where you have to watch
every single game. And that's the problem. There's no parity in the NBA. There's top heavy teams, and then the rest are at the bottom. I don't know how to fix that. The league is trying to sell stars, and they're doing a good job at it. They're not trying to sell teams. So they're fine with LeBron and Steph Curry and Blake Griffin destroying everybody and letting everybody else fight for the scraps.
They're not the best team in the NBA.
No.
Talent-wise.
Cleveland's better. You don't think so? Golden State's definitely better.
Talent-wise, Golden State's light years ahead of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, in Cleveland, like, you want to say talent-wise, like, it's like, all right, who would you rather have taken 15 shots a game, J.J. Redick or J.R. Smith?
Oh, J.J. Redick, no doubt.
Exactly, and that's basically their J.R. Smith.
But who would you rather have in control, Chris Paul or LeBron James?
That's not as easy a question as
I think it is. I just Chris Paul's the point guard.
Yeah,
he is, but it's LeBron James.
But he's as good a playmaker as LeBron. He's just not as big and strong.
He just can't do the same things LeBron does. I argue he's a better playmaker than LeBron.
And he's a good defender. He can't be a good defender than LeBron because he can't cover 40 feet in 2.5 seconds and get a chase down, but he can come up with a big steal. Or he'll defend the best player on your team. So, I mean, if you want to think of it in that retrospect. But I mean, who would I rather have, Kyrie and LeBron, or Blake and Chris Paul?
The answer says history says Kyrie and LeBron.
I'm gonna go Kyrie and LeBron, but it's not as easy a answer as easy a decision as it seems, because Chris Paul and Blake are good too when they're healthy.
LeBron and insert name here. I'll pick LeBron over Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Except J.R. Smith.
LeBron and JaVale McGee.
Yeah, why not? Let's hop on them together.
Let's go, man.
Clips, third. See you in the playoffs.
I think they're gonna be second.
They could be.
I think the only reason they first is
Don't
because
disrespect the Spurs.
they've played more games than everybody else.
Yeah.
They've played like 2 more games than everybody else, so of course they're gonna have the best record. Not to take away from them, because they have won some big games.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Thunder once, but the Thunder also beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they might be.
They played twice already. It's only been like a month.
Second at the same division.
Wow.
The same way the Pelicans and the Warriors played twice already.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think the Clippers gonna be alright.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna be Golden State, and nobody is.
Let's try to fix the league, guys. Let's fix the league.
Let's get some parity here. Yeah. 12 missed extra points in the NFL this past week. Those of you who've been tuning into the program on a weekly basis, you know my take on this. Kicking should be disregarded from the game of football. This is a waste of our time. Why are we kicking balls into between 2 field goal posts? Now, 12 missed extra points. If that's not evidence to you that this should be eliminated from the game completely, I mean, look at the Steelers game. The wind was blowing, and whoever the wind was blowing in the direction of went for 2. So, and the game was much more fun, much more competitive. If you go back and watch that game, it was one of the best games of the week, I think, before that game on Monday night. So, let's just eliminate kicking from football, make this more competitive. But will the NFL do it? No, because it's the no fun league. So it's not gonna happen. But I'm just tired of seeing kickers. Everyone's missing kicks, and everybody say, "Oh well, they moved back the goal. I mean, not the goal. They moved back the position. What was it, 10, 15 yards?
It was at the 2. Now it's at the 33.
Yeah. So they moved it back significantly. So I mean, of course, it's more difficult. But I'm not a fan of it. I think it should be eliminated from the game. Robert, your thoughts?
In the words of our president-elect, wrong. You're wrong, man. Listen to me. This is what we wanted, right? We wanted more drama in these extra points. It made no sense. We're paying for the talking heads in the NFL, the corporate guys who decided, hey, this is too easy. Let's move it back. What it did was at the 2, let's say a kick was off, right?
Yeah.
They're going to make it anyway because they're so close. But that in the kicker's mind, they go, oh, that was a little off to the right. Next time when I'm back, I move it a little to the left. That's gone now. Now every kick is a high pressure situation, and now we're dealing with the consequences here. I don't want to get rid of kicking. No, that's a fundamental part of the game. Field goals are huge.
No, it's a boring.
You're gonna go for it on third.
It's a boring mental part of the game.
At the 30.
It's a boring mental part of the game because it's not fun.
You know how bad it's great. That's what it is.
It's not fun.
If 4th and 4 at the 30, it adds more strategy. You're gonna go for it on 4th and 4 at the 30, or you're gonna punt it. Try to punt it 2 yards.
You can punt it. I'm just saying, take field goals out the game.
No, yeah, I mean, but I'm saying if you're at 4th and 4 at the 30, right? At the 30, that's too close to punt. You're gonna go for it. Let's say 4th and 15 at the 30. Now what?
Win to go home.
See, that's the problem. But if you can kick a field goal, you get the points and all that. That's like removing the 3-point line because Steph Curry's too good at 3-pointers.
Listen, the NBA is going to make a 4-point line soon.
Don't do that. Stop. Listen. All right. Kicking is down because that's what we wanted. Kicking from the 33 at these high altitudes, at these high winds, without practice of the extra point, It's not an automatic 7 anymore. Touchdowns were 7. There were 6, but we always knew there were 7. Now we have to think
It's not chip shots anymore.
It's not automatic anymore. That changes the game. The Giants were up by 6 at the end of the game this year against the Bears, right? The Bears could have drove down for the winning score if Robbie Gould didn't miss the kick. Robbie Gould, who was on his couch 3 weeks ago. So that's the problem. I think I'm not saying let's move it back because it's too late now, but that's what we wanted. That's the consequence we got, and now we have to deal with it.
Can't argue with that. Well, yes, I can, but I respectfully disagree.
Wrong.
I don't care about Putin kicking. Back to the NBA. Back to the NBA. I was listening to an interview with Draymond Green saying that if he's been selfish about anything, it's been about winning Defensive Player of the Year. Personally, I felt he should have won it last year over Kawhi Leonard. He's come in second the past 2 years. You think can he win it this year?
He needs to worry about not getting